Good morning, good afternoon and good evening, wherever you are and whatever you're doing. I hope you're having a fantastic day. It's my pleasure to present to you today the third and final part in the Mountaintops of the Giants, Things You May Have Missed. I'm going to start out by marking a few points of interest on the map here, and from the Freezing Lake Site of Grace, just before we start heading northwest up the mountain towards the first pointer, I'm going to spend a minute or two testing out the Rivers of Blood. So far, I'm not hugely blown away by it. It looks really cool, it does a decent amount of damage, but it's definitely not my favourite weapon, so we probably won't be using this for too long. Once I've had my fun with all the skeletons and we're at the top of the mountain, off to the north here you can see Castle Sol, which we'll be covering in next video. So make sure you subscribe to the channel so that you can stay tuned for that. And now as we continue along the southwest, we'll very quickly come across a new site of grace which we'll be using for pretty much the entirety of the remainder of this video. Now head southeast along this bridge. You can activate that summoning pool should you wish, and before long you'll trigger the Erdtree Avatar boss at the foot of the minor Erdtree. And when he's at nearly on 1/2 health, another one spawns? I didn't quite see what happened, whether it was a spell he cast or another one spawned, but they share a health bar, so it doesn't take them long to go down because the corpse piler actually slashes both of them at once. So the fact that a second one spawned made this fight easier than it did harder, which is amazing. And we're then rewarded with the Cerulean Crystal tier and the Crimson Bubble tier. From here, you can continue heading southwest. There's no notable loot to mention, just a load of demi-humans to take out. Then I'll meet you on this bridge where we grab a Somber Smithing Stone 9 and set ourselves up for the next part of the video. From the bridge, we can now head north to this next plateau and into the Stargazers Ruins. Here, you will see a few bat enemies. It doesn't feel like it's currently nighttime, and I thought they only spawned at night, so I'm now very confused. And as you come to the center of the ruins, you'll see a jellyfish calling out for their sister. From here, you want to use the spirit jellyfish ashes to reunite the sisters. They'll now sod off and give you the fancy spin emote, so bear with me whilst I find it and then do a little fancy spin for you. Now we can head down, and this was blocked off by a seal, which we have now broken, and it will grant us access to the Primal Glintstone Blade, which is a talisman, which means that spells consume less FP, but it reduces your maximum health by 10%. Wait, after a second look, no it doesn't. 10% would be like 140 health. Okay, it must reduce your health by like 8%, maybe 7.5. Anyway, apart from the freezing grease back here, that's all there was to do at the Stargazer Ruins. So we'll head northwest and prepare to go along this next bridge here in the next tip. As I'm working my way over to the next tip, which was going to be a Tibia Mariner boss, I decided to loop around the bottom of the mountain here to avoid the giant skeleton torsos scattered all over the place, and ran into a Rite bird. As I've mentioned before, I'm pretty sure it's not nighttime at the moment, so I'm not sure why this has spawned. Maybe it's just perpetually nighttime here. But anyway, I'm thoroughly unprepared, and I die to the Rite bird very quickly. I then come back and start to attempt to cheese him, and realise because I've changed my build, I can no longer wield my strong bow. So I start trying to take him down with a completely unupgraded black bow, however that's doing no damage. So I'll now go and level it up off screen, and you see me now back here again, absolutely destroying him with insane amounts of damage. Oh my god, I love the black bow so much. It's so strong when you upgrade it. This now becomes an incredibly fun cheese fest, and once he's dead, we're rewarded with a silly amount of runes and the Death Ritual Spear. And also, now that he's dead, we can start heading east, and I've just realised that we're currently at the bottom of the mountain when we need to be at the top. So after a little bit of backtracking, you will join me just here. And also, thank you for the follow over on Twitch, Mole, and thank you for reminding everyone else to go and follow over on twitch.tv/Dom's Roundtable. And whilst I'm in the swing of doing a very subtle plug, I'd just like to call out that we also have a Patreon now, where you can directly support the channel and help me to continue creating amazing content for you every day. And Patreon is a great way to support the channel because you will be rewarded for your support with perks such as your name in the credits of every video, and at higher tiers, early access to all new videos and even exclusive merchandise. Whilst I've been talking, that should have given us enough time to traverse the laser beam spewing giant skeleton torsos and finally make it to the Tibia Mariner boss. We'll take him out and we'll be rewarded with the Helfen's Steeple. And also, if you've been following this whole guide, this will finally give you the 9th and last death route in the game, so you can now go and finish up Gerank's questline, which I already demonstrated for you at the end of the previous video, Castle Sol. So now let's move into the next tip. I now meet you on the bridge just to the south of the Stargazer Ruins, and here you can meet up once again with the Noble Gold Mask and Brother Corhyn. I'll show you the full steps on how you get him here and what you need to progress to this point in the full NPC questline video for Brother Corhyn. But for now, for anyone who is already here, you can speak to them both to progress their questlines, and also if you completed the Volcano Manor questlines and opted not to use the Tonic of Forgetfulness on Raya, you can now offer it to Brother Corhyn here instead. He will refuse it, but it will unlock new dialogue and offer a slightly different ending to his questline. There is actually only one step left in Brother Corhyn's questline at this point in the game, but we can't complete it until we've progressed through the Forge of the Giants. If we were to do that now, that would lock us out of certain side areas that we want to wrap up, so that will be coming a little further on in the series, so make sure that you're subscribed to the channel and stay tuned for that. Thank you. There's now two final things for us to do in the Mountaintops of the Giants. We'll be doing one of them now, which is the Giant Conquering Hero's Grave, and then the final thing is the main boss for the area and the Forge of the Giants. But they won't be coming until a much later video, as there's a lot of optional content that we can wrap up that will become inaccessible if we complete the Forge of the Giants first. Now let's move into the next tip. So, let's go through this dungeon, and then in the next few upcoming videos, we'll be covering a lot of amazing optional areas, such as the Consecrated Snowfields and Miquella's Haligtree. And once we've finished absolutely everything else, then we'll come back here and tackle the Forge of the Giants. First things first, in the Stone Sword Key room directly in front of you, you can grab the Flame Protect Me incantation. And as we're starting to run through the dungeon, you'll see I've changed up my build again. And for the first time ever, I'm trying out the Falling Star Beastjaw and its incredibly powerful Ash of War, the Gravity Bolt. I mean, just look at this. This enemy just got absolutely deleted. And I don't know if I just got lucky with the loot, but he dropped half of his armor set as well, including the Fire Monk hood and armor. There's also an illusionary wall just here to the right of you, and that will lead you to a golden rune 11. Now you actually want to drop down here where we just picked up the golden rune, as there is a light sigil on the floor. You can lead the imps into it, and once you've taken them out, you can then do the same with the Erdtree Burial Watchdog at the bottom of the stairs just here. That's this area done, apart from a Grave Glovewort 7 right at the other end of the room, and a Grave Glovewort 9 directly underneath the light sigil. Just beware of the imps that will ambush you as you head into that section of the room. Now we can go into the next section of the dungeon, be wary of the fire statue, and then you can come into the next room, and directly above you will be a fire monk and another stone sword key room. In here is a Grave Glovewort 8 and the Cranial Vessel Candlestand weapon, along with an ambush from some invincible imps that I'm just going to ignore for now. But if you do want to take them out, what you want to do is actually hit this fire statue to send it back up again. That will project the light back on the floor and make them vulnerable. Once you've had your fun in this room, now we can head through into the next area and down this lift. Down here will be a lever that we can pull to open up this door, and then to make the giant that you can see vulnerable, you want to head back and send the lift back up again. Don't go up with it, and it will make another light sigil appear on the ground just here. Coax the giant into the sigil, and once you've taken him out, that will actually open the boss room for the dungeon. Now on your way through these doors, you can get a Ghost Glovewort 9 on the left hand side, and now be ready for the boss, which is literally just another ancient hero of Zamor. He's not even really a boss. Like, he's got the same moveset and everything. He's just got a bit more health and a bit more damage. So once you've completely wiped the floor with him, you'll be rewarded with his weapon and his armor set, which is a pretty decent reward for such an easy boss. We're not quite done with this dungeon yet though. Head back out the way we just came, and you can jump off either side of the ledge here. Straight away, you can grab the giant seal, and then you want to be very careful as you're taking out this fire prelate. Once he's dead, I'm unsure if it's a guaranteed drop, but I got his armor. And then right at the end of the room, you can get a Great Grave Glovewort. We love them plus 10 upgrade materials. That's all there is in this room, so now you can drop down once again, and down here, there will be a Grave Glovewort 9 behind the Burial Watchdog on your right, and a Grave Glovewort 8 at the end of the room. Before you go anywhere, they are both currently invincible. I'll show you how to take them out if you want to, but honestly, there's no reason to be down here apart from the spirit upgrade materials I just mentioned. They don't drop any cool loot, so what I would advise is just run through, grab the materials, get up the ladder, and don't bother coming back. There's also some Grave Glovewort up here before you drop down that you can grab as well. But if you do want to make them vulnerable, then what you'll need to do is head up the ladder at the end of the room to get out of this area, come back to the lift that we used earlier to take out the troll, pull the lever to send it back down, and it will go to the lower platform where the watchdogs are, and it will light a sigil there. Now you can coax them into the sigil, make them vulnerable, and take them out. And finally, once they're dead, or if you just opted to run past them, you can take the ladder back up once again and start heading out. And now we are done with this dungeon. Once you've grabbed all of the loot that you want, you can leave. And that completes the Mountaintops of the Giants, apart from the forge itself, which, as I say, will be coming back and completing in a later video. So all I have left to say is I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.